Hi, Ruth Chadwick here, and this is a series on the holistic aspects of the work-life playbook and why we have to pay attention to our body, our mind, and our spirit if we are going to be operating optimally in this lifetime. And that means, with a focus on work, which is the lens I like to look at this through, but also it expands into the rest of your life as well. So this video is about the body. We are whole individuals, right? We are made of a body, a mind, and a spirit, and they're all one. We talk about these things as discrete entities, but they're really all one. We are all of these things, right? And they sort of feed into each other. It's not like where does the body end and the mind begin and the spirit end? And there's no way to really delineate these things. But for the purposes of explanation, it's good to actually hone in on each of these aspects of the self in order to get a greater understanding of how this approach can help you. So a lot of us take our bodies for granted. It's they get us through the day. They sustain us basically, and we put a lot onto them. And in a capitalistic culture, we've been trained from an early age to ignore our bodies, to not listen to them really, to override or ignore the ways that they're communicating with us. And our body communicates with us in many different ways, right? It communicates with us through, say, hunger cues or cues for rest or sleep. And especially in a capitalistic culture, oftentimes we just ignore those things. We're pressing on, we're moving forward in order to reach a deadline or a goal or just get to the end of the day. And we're just taking very little time to actually take care of our bodily needs, right? So a grab and go meal here, you know, a coffee instead of a nap, that sort of thing. Those are just some examples of how we've been conditioned to ignore our body's signals. Along with that, because we've sort of shut down our communication, the two-way communication, we've sort of disconnected from our bodies in many ways. We often don't listen to symptoms. Sometimes we might be having, let's say, maybe it's headaches. Maybe we're having more headaches than usual. We just pop a pill in order to make the pain go away. Maybe it's tension, or maybe it's digestive issues. And we just, again, we take the pill or we go to the doctor to get the medicine to just shut down the symptom so that we can get back to work, get back to functioning. Ignoring symptoms, though, has long-term negative effects because what ends up happening is that eventually there's going to be a major health issue. That's going to happen if you continue to ignore your symptoms. You're going to have a major health issue at some point. That could be complete. It could be exhaustion in the form of burnout where people really just can't function. Or it could be some other illness. It could be a heart condition. It could be a cancer diagnosis. It could be diabetes. It could be any of these things. And many of these issues began with stress on the system, chronic stress. So when it comes to caring for the body, one thing is learning to trust the body. We need to flip this script in terms of we're in control of the body and we're dominating the body. And we need to learn to listen to the body. The body actually knows best. The body is brilliant and the body is supporting us all the time if we let it. But if we abuse it, eventually things are going to start to break down. So honoring our body and really caring for our bodies can be one of and this is not news, right? Everybody knows you need sleep and hydration and nutrition and all of that. But it can be easier said than done, especially if we're chasing success. So making changes like this can be really small, but the first part is really starting to listen, just listening, reconnecting, allowing your body to communicate with you and listening to it is really the first thing. So just become aware, I'm hungry. I'm getting a hunger cue. Okay, so instead of just powering through, okay, noticing I'm hungry. Is there something I can eat right now? Or I'm tired. Maybe I can downshift instead of drinking another espresso and just powering through. Is there a way to downshift? Now, obviously, if you're working in someone else's environment, sometimes that can seem challenging. But the first thing really is keeping the lines of communication open and just starting to listen and develop that relationship with your body again, not ignore the symptoms, not ignore the signals. So that's one aspect of the body, mind, spirit, holistic way of looking at things is really starting to listen to our bodies again. And just take a minute right now, for example, and see like what's going on in your body. Do a little body scan, Are where are you feeling a certain amount of tension? Is there a way for you to just let go a little bit? Or, are you feeling tired? Is there a way to maybe work on some busy work right now for a little bit if you're tired, instead of trying to like tackle that big project? So just starting to think about, again, establishing this communication with our body, trusting that our body is brilliant, our body is supporting us, our body loves us, and it loves us more if we love it. So that's the first piece to just think about a little bit more, is the communication lines between you and your body. So the next video is going to be about the mind. So I welcome you to stay tuned for that next video, which is going to be coming up in a couple of days.